glorious some devotees. All glories Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. So, since very soon we're going to have the Divine Appearance Day of Lord Nrsimhadeva, I thought we could have some discussion about Lord Nrsimhadeva in relation to book distribution. So, this is not only the Divine Appearance Day of Lord Nrsimhadeva coming up soon, but it's also the disappearance day of Hiranyakasipu. That even makes it more auspicious. So we're going to read from a very important verse in the Nrsimhadeva, which expresses the mood, thank you, of a devotee. Naivod Vijaya Paradaratya Yavayatranya Swadvirya Gayana Mahamrata Magna Chitta So Chaitato Vimukacheta Indriyartha Maya Sakhaya Buddha Do Buddhan. This is 7-9-43. So this very important verse was spoken after Lord Nrsimhadeva had killed a large number of demons, and Hiranyakasipu was the leader of them. So actually many demigods had approached Lord Nrsimhadeva because he was still angry. He had killed all these demons. He was so angry because this big demon had tried to kill his devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. So he was so angry, even after he had killed all these demons, he was still so angry because these rascals tried to kill his pure devotees. So they were coming up and trying to appease him, they were trying to pacify him, but no one could do it. And one of them said, well, Lakshmi Devi, he's your husband, maybe you talk to him. And she said, well, I've never seen him like this before. So she was also a little hesitant. So then finally Lord Brahman, he went to Prahlad and he said, you know, Lord Nrsimhadeva is here because of you, maybe you can pacify him. So as soon as Prahlad went up to him, he was pacified. He became peaceful. He put his transcendental paw and his head, blessed Prahlad Maharaj. So he composed beautiful prayers, the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. And this is the most important of all the prayers that Prahlad Maharaj composed right there on the spot. He says, "O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them." Purport. Throughout the entire world, everyone is making big plans to adjust the miseries of the material world. And this is true at present, in the past, and in the future. Nonetheless, although they make elaborate political, social, and cultural plans, they have all been described herein as vimudha. What does vimudha mean? Fools and rascals. The material world has been described in Bhagavad Gita as dukalyam ashashvatam, Bhagavad Gita 8:15, temporary and miserable. But these fools are trying to turn the material world into sukhalyam, which means place of happiness. They're trying to turn what Krishna described as Dukkhalayam, a place of suffering, as a place of happiness. Doesn't work, right? Not knowing how everything acts by the arrangement of material nature, which works in her own way. Prakriti kriyamanani ganai karmani sarvas ahankara pratama itimani. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by nature. There is a plan for material nature, personally known as Durga, to punish the demons. Although the asuras, the godless demons, struggle for existence, they are directly attacked by the goddess Durga, who is well equipped with 10 hands, with different types of weapons to punish them. She is carried by her lion carrier, or the modes of passion and ignorance. Everyone struggles very hard to fight through the modes of passion and ignorance and conquer material nature, but at the end everyone is vanquished by the laws of nature. So maybe we'll start talk a little about this so far, and then maybe we'll go further. So, Lord Nrsimhadeva, after hearing the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, he was so pleased with him. He asked him, or he told him, take any benediction, I'll give you anything you want, just take any benediction. And Prahlad Maharaj said, my Lord, I don't want to do business with you. I just want to serve you. I don't want anything from you. I just want to serve you. But Lord Nrsimhadeva said, just no, take any benediction, take something. He said, okay, you want me to take a benediction? Please liberate my father. Now his father tried to kill him in so many ways. He tried to have him trampled by an elephant. He tried to throw him off a cliff. He tried to boil him in oil. How else did he try to kill him? Huh? He tried to throw him in a pit of snakes.
Elephants.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Poison, yeah. Tried to poison him. And he had these guys with tridents piercing him. Chindi Bindi, right? Remember that? Chindi Bindi? What was it? Sticking him with spears. Rakhe Krishna Morike, Mori Krishna Rakhe. If Krishna wants to kill someone, who can protect him? If Krishna wants to protect someone, who can kill him? It's not going to happen. Couldn't kill him. But here, after this person tried to kill him in so many ways, now he wants him to be liberated. So this is a devotee. He wants everybody to be liberated. And there is one great devotee, Vasudeva Dutt. He was a devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was so compassionate that he wanted all the sins of everyone in the universe to come upon him so that they can be liberated and go back to Godhead. I mean, that is a real Vaishnava. Whew. And he wasn't just talking. He wanted all the sins of everyone to come upon him so that they're free to go back to Godhead. And Lord Chaitanya heard that, because he knew it was coming straight from the heart. Lord Chaitanya cried. He embraced him. He said, I can understand that you're speaking in this way because you are an incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj, who was so compassionate. So we should pray for just a spark of the compassion of this Vasudev Dutt. Such a great Vaishnava. So this is very important that we have this compassion. Actually, Lord Krishna, he says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prana Artha Diya Vacha. Prana Artha Diya Vacha. You know that? Anyway, huh? This is spoken by Krishna. He says it's the duty of all living entities to dedicate their life, their wealth, their intelligence, prana, artha, dhyava, and their words for the benefit of others. He says it's the duty of all living entities to dedicate their life, their wealth, their intelligence, and their words for the benefit of others. So there's no better way to help people in this way than giving Prabhupada's books. There's many devotees actually that are, well, not many, some, that have given their lives. Some devotees have been distributing books now for over 40 years. They've given their life. I was speaking to one devotee in Australia, and he's a book distributor now. He's been distributing books for maybe 25 years. And I said, you know, Rupa, Raghunath, we should go right into our 70s distributing books. He said, 70s? We should go into our 80s. Let's just keep going until we drop. So that's really giving your life, yeah. And there was one period, I was in Nevada. You all heard of Nevada? That's where Las Vegas is, Sin City. Sin City, and it's Las Vegas, Nevada. We were just going into Las Vegas. We had just been we were up in Salt Lake City, Utah, distributing books. Very nice book distribution up there. So we were coming down, and we were going back to LA. And we thought, well, maybe we'll just stay overnight in one place, and then we'll continue our trip back to Los Angeles. But we weren't planning on distributing books, but the exit that we took off by Krishna's arrangement had a university right there. So we thought, well, I guess we will distribute books tomorrow, since we got a university right here, although that wasn't part of our plan. So the next morning we woke up, we went to this university. It was a small university, so we thought it wouldn't be too big. But to our surprise, at this university, there was a number of Christians that were also there distributing their New Testament. And to even more of our surprise, they were all very elderly. I mean, they were like in their 70s. So I was curious, and I went up to one of them and said, excuse me, I noticed you're doing this nice service for Jesus. I'm just curious, how old are you? He said, I'm 78. Wow, that's pretty dedicated. And he said, well, what better way to utilize the rest of my life than glorifying the Lord? Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm doing that too. Yeah. So there's about 6 of them. So I went around and I was asking just their age. One of them was 82. And another one was 72, 75. They're all over their 70s, distributing books. I think Krishna sent us there just to let us know, hey, you can do it. They're all in their 70s distributing books. Every one of them, 6 of them, thinking, wow. We have one that I know of that's distributing books now since 1968. He's been distributing books for 49 years. 49 years he's been distributing books. It's amazing, you know, Krishna is the source of all remembrance and forgetfulness. I know this devotee so well, but I can't remember his name. Krishna gives, he takes away. So anyway, that's the idea. We should give our life, yeah, to giving this message out. Yeah. At least we should have the monthly Sankirtan festival. And we have to keep it going. Somehow we got to keep it going. Don't stop. At least that, and try to increase from there. But minimum, we should have the monthly Sankirtan festival. So, artha, prana artha, we should give our wealth. Of course, we don't have any wealth to give. We've given our life, so that's pretty good. Diya. Diya means intelligence. We should give our intelligence. So when we're distributing books, we should pray to Krishna. Krishna is known as Diyampati. Let's all say that together. Diyampati. Diyampati means the Lord of intelligence. So we should pray to Diyampati for the intelligence to convince people to take a book. I remember I was once in the airport in Los Angeles, and I was showing the book to one gentleman, and he was showing some interest. I was showing the pictures and he was showing a little interest. And he said, "Nah, I'm not interested." So I pointed at his head and I said, "Up here, you're not interested at all. But here, you're very interested." He said, "All right, you got me." And he gave a real nice donation. Took a Bhagavad Gita. So we just got to think, you know, Krishna reveals. Dante nidhayam tranakam pariyor napatya prabodhananda saraswati thakur. He says when we approach people to give them Krishna consciousness, we should glorify them. Sir, you are so intelligent. Everything about you is wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful qualities, wonderful nature, good energy, nice. Now please forget everything you've learned and accept this mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's good to glorify people. It's like many times I tell people, you know, you have good energy. Everybody likes that. I mean, you capture their heart when you say that, because everybody likes to hear it. Or you know, if they have glasses on, nice glasses you got there, nice hat or something. You know, just glorify them. You know, we're out there to make friends, so that's one way to make friends, and interact with them. On Saturday morning, we're going to have a little bit of interaction. I'm going to show you some practical tips on how to distribute books. And you'll be able to distribute with each other. So you're used to approaching people and talking to people. It's nice to have interaction with people. You know, ask them questions, you know, get their name. It's said that there's nothing sweeter for a person to hear than his own name. People love to hear their names. So get their name. And as you're speaking to them, you say, "Yeah, Joe, this is a great book. Joe, you're going to love this, man." Just, you know, say his name a few times. When you say their name, you become their friend. Right? Also. So there's little things, you know, that we learn as we carry on distributing books. So here in the purport, Prabhupada mentions that people are trying to make big plans to adjust the miseries of the material world. And this is true at present, in the past, and the future. So Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nasochati Nakanksati Samarsaresu bhutesu manbhakti madhukevara. One who's thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman. He neither laments nor desires to have anything in this world. So people are hankering. And they're hankering like anything for material sense gratification. And then they're lamenting, of course. So they're always trying to adjust. They're hankering, they're lamenting, they're adjusting, trying to make something work in the material world. But the nature of this world, it's hlada tapakari. Hlada tapakari means that whatever you try to enjoy in this world, that very thing you're trying to enjoy becomes a cause of suffering. So we're trying to help people understand that there's happiness, there's real happiness beyond this world. The happiness that this unlimited happiness that we all want is beyond this material world, it's in the spiritual world. This is where they experience the eternality, knowledge and bliss. Everybody wants to be eternal. Who wants to die? Unless people are suffering so much they want to commit suicide. That's just because they didn't adjust good enough. Yeah. So they want to end their life, but they can't end their life. So people want knowledge, people are going to school. Unfortunately, they're not getting the right knowledge. We're giving them very valuable knowledge. And they want happiness. But in this world, they won't find it. Here in this world, they find the miseries, the threefold miseries. Just like there's a nice example given in the Mahabharata of one man. He's walking in the forest, and he falls into a well. And he's falling, and he catches on to a root. There's a root going from one side to the other. And he's thinking, whew, good thing there's this root here. God, I'd be down at the bottom of this well. So then he's hanging there trying to figure out how to get out. He looks down and there's a big black snake, a huge snake on the bottom. And he's thinking, whew, good thing this root is here. So he's hanging there. And then he hears some chewing. And he looks up and there's a white rat chewing on one of the side of the root. And then he looks over and there's a black rat chewing on the other side. And now he's thinking, this has got to be a dream. This can't be real. And then he hears a roar. He looks up and there's a lion looking down at him. And he's thinking, well, I don't want to go up there either. Imagine the predicament, huh? You got a lion roaring at him from the top. You got a big black snake on the bottom, venomous snake. He's got rats chewing on each side. So he's hanging there. What to do? And then he feels some drops on his head. He's like, what is that? And he looks up, and there's a honeycomb straight above him in the tree. So he puts his tongue out, and he's getting these drops. And then he's thinking, life isn't so bad after all. So this is the material world. Right? So the black snake represents death. It's coming. It's just around the corner. It's going to happen to all of us. Even though we don't think it's going to happen. Sometimes. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. The black and white rat are compared to night and day. Ayur hardi vaipum sam udyan ashtam chayanasai tashyate yaksan uttama shlokavartya. For every rising and setting of the sun, a day is lost, except for that person who utilizes their time in utilizing it to remember the all-good personality of Godhead Shri Krishna. So if we waste this valuable time, it's very inauspicious. So time should be utilized properly in hearing about Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, distributing books, doing Harinam. Because the saying is, idle mind is devil's workshop. Right? So we have to be thinking of Krishna. So the lion, you know, we just heard Durga, she rides around on a lion, and she has a trident, and she pierces with these three, what do you call it? Trumpet. She pierces. The misery is coming from our own body and mind, misery is coming from nature, misery is coming from other living entities. So, in this way, people are suffering so much. But if we take to Krishna consciousness, we can get out of this very awkward situation. There's a verse, Nrsimhadeva, samsara kupe patitang visayar musitekshinam grustam kalinam konyastratum adhishvara. The intelligence of the living entity is stolen away by the activities of sense gratification. And in that condition, one falls down into the well of material existence. And within that well, one is seized by the deadly serpent of time. And who but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can save one from such a condition? So we're in the well right now, actually. We're in the well of insurmountable time, and time destroys everything. So we should utilize this time properly on figuring out how to get purified and go back to Godhead. And while we're on this path back to home, it's like one devotee said that this Srila Prabhupada, he's like a transcendental bulldozer, and he's plowed through Kali Yuga, and all we have to do is get behind Prabhupada. Don't be distracted by all the Maya on the right and the Maya on the left. Just stay at the feet of Prabhupada, just follow right back to Godhead. And while we're on this path, back to Godhead, following the feet of Srila Prabhupada, distribute some books. On the right and on the left, and try to get some others.
Don't look at Maya.
Huh?
Distribute books, but don't look at Maya.
Yeah, don't be bewildered by the Maya that you see there. Just get the books out to them. Because there's a lot of Maya. This is Maya's kingdom. There's a lot of opportunity to be distracted. So we have to be very careful. Srila Prabhupada said that my disciples, they have two weaknesses. That one is that they are not enough afraid of Maya. So we should have a firm fear of Maya. And the other is that we like to change things too much. So we should try to help these people. I remember I was distributing once in the Miami airport, and I approached a family, and the lady was really into it. She was interested. She was a ripe mango. She really wanted the book. So she asked her husband, give him a donation, I want to read this book. He said, nah, you're never going to read it. Come on, it's just going to sit in the bookshelf, you'll never read it. No, I want to read the book. Come on, give him a donation. No, come on, let's catch our flight. We're going to miss our flight. Let's go. You're not going to read it. Let's go. She got really upset and just walked away. He was a green mango. See, sometimes in just a few people you talk, one's green, one's ripe. You know what to do. So the little girl was there also, about 8 years old. She looked up at her father and said, "Daddy, I hate you." Nothing that her father wants to hear his daughter say. So then the father felt bad, you know. So he gave $10 to me. The little girl grabbed the book out of my hand and went running down the aisle. Mommy, Mommy, I got the book, I got the book. So at least 2 people were happy there. I hope it didn't cause a divorce or anything. But book distribution, it's a real adventure. It's a real adventure. I was in Australia last year distributing books. And we have this festival there called the Woodford Festival. It's a huge festival. 6 days we're there distributing books and distributing prasadam. Ajita Prabhu in New Govardhan, he's probably one of the best managers in ISKCON. He's just unbelievable. So for 6 days he sets up a restaurant there with 20 tables, and they do about $25,000 worth of prasadam every day. And I'm there with the books next to him. And I usually do about 50 Gitas or so, 50 Srimad Bhagavatams. So people are coming by and they're getting prasadam, getting purified with the prasadam, then they get the book, they get more purified with the book, so a lot of purification going on there. So one young lad, he got the Bhagavad Gita from nice guy, and then when we went back to the temple, he was there at the temple. We have something called the woofers. You ever heard of the woofers? A world, what is it, a world?
Workers on organic farms.
So we have woofers there. We have a lot. We have about 40 woofers there that do service at the farm. So he decided to be a woofer for a while. And then by interacting with the devotees, he decided that he wanted to associate more with the devotees. So now he's living in the ashram, and he's distributing books. Just a few months ago, we were distributing books together. There's nothing better than that. You distribute a book to someone, and then he becomes a book distributor right next to you. It's a nice feeling. So he's into Harinam, he's into book distribution, doing so many services. So this is always a good feeling. That someone who has gotten a book from you becomes a devotee. I remember I was in Toronto, Canada, and one devotee came up to me and said, "Vijaya, I want to thank you." I said, "You're welcome. Now, why are you thanking me?" He said, "About 20 years ago, you gave a book to a friend of mine in Colombia. And he wasn't into the book, but he knew I was into it, so he gave me that book. And now I've been a devotee for about 10 years. So I always wanted to thank you." We leave the names. We used to leave our names in the book. So the name was there. So someone who you distribute a book to this coming Saturday might become a devotee. At least you're going to get a lot of punya, pious credit for taking a book, for giving a donation. Who knows how many lifetimes it's been since they've done any service for Krishna. So even if they give 1 penny, that's the beginning of their devotional service. Krishna sees that. And we should always remember the penny principle. Let's say someone you approach on Saturday is not interested in the book. So you just, you tell them, "Well, can you give a penny?" Do you say pennies here also? Cents. "Can you give a cent?" And usually people, "All right, I'll give you." Usually they'll, give you a few cents, give you a pile of coins, or you might even give you a paper note, So this is very good. Many people that I speak to, they don't want the book. I just tell them, "Well, can you give a donation?" And they'll give, sometimes they give 5 or 10 euros. So even if they don't want a book, ask for a donation. And then after they give a donation, we'll take the book anyway. All right, I'll take the book. And then they get the book also. So always ask for a donation, even if you find they don't want the book. There was one instance where a devotee was going door to door and knocked on the door and was showing the book to this one man. And, Science of Self-Realization, hardbound book. And the man said, I'm not interested. So the devotee said, can you just give a penny? He said, all right, I'll give you a penny. So he went upstairs into his office there. He's looking around in his drawer for a penny. And his wife walks in and says, what are you doing? I'm looking for a penny. This guy gave me this book down there. He wants a penny for this book. So the lady, his wife, takes the book and is looking through it. And she sees the pictures and everything. It's a nice book. She said, what are you gonna? You can't give a penny for a book like this. Give him a donation, And then she was so heavy on him. Like, what kind of a creep are you? Penny for a book like this. So he went down. He gave him $50. Asked for a penny, and the wife was so heavy he gave $50. So turned out to be a happy ending. So always ask for a donation if you have their attention. But if they just walk by, don't say, hey, you can just give it back. Have a little exchange at least. I just heard one of the most amazing stories just recently, just today. I read this. One young man is sleeping, and an unembodied hand came and offered him the Bhagavad Gita.
What hand?
Unembodied, just an arm, holding the Bhagavad Gita.
Like some rocker,
No body, just an arm, unembodied arm. Huh?
This was a dream, or?
He is sleeping.
Okay.
It's a dream. So he's kind of like, he wakes up, like, what was that? You don't very often see it, just an arm coming at you with it. And he remembered the name on it, and he Googled it, Bhagavad Gita. And then he ordered the Bhagavad Gita, got Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. He's living at the temple right now, New Govardhan. I mean, have you ever heard of such an amazing way that someone with an unembodied arm comes in and offers a Bhagavad Gita? Like, wow. Krishna's got an amazing, he's very creative, I mean, that's the most creative way I've ever heard of someone becoming a devotee. Amazing. So, let's see, is there anything else? Okay, so, now, any questions or comments?
Wives are not so bad sometimes.
What's that?
The wives are not so bad sometimes.
Wives aren't so bad after all the time. Coming from our bhakti. They can be pretty good. Actually, there's one statement, there's one sentence in Prabhupada says that, he says, great devotees of the Lord travel all over the world and instruct people, don't try to find happiness in a place where happiness is only a myth. Happiness in this world is mythology. It's not real, it's Maya Sukhaya. It appears like it's real, but it's an illusion. Maya Sukhaya. If we want happiness, we have to surrender to Krishna. And if you want to be really happy, then try to help others also be happy. Try to give them Krishna. I mean, I can tell you personally, my most wonderful experiences in this life, my most happy experiences in this life have been on book distribution. It's an ecstatic activity. So please continue this monthly Sankirtan festival, and if you can, try to increase it to the weekend warrior. You see, they started like that, the monthly Sankirtan festival at Silicon Valley, but some of the devotees, they got so inspired by the monthly Sankirtan festival, they started the weekend warrior. So they go out every weekend, and during their workday, they were hankering for the weekend, because that was the best part of their week. So hopefully we increase to weekend warrior, don't decrease. Gotta keep this. I'm gonna have to keep writing some of the devotees here just to remind everybody. It's coming up. See, this is the first Saturday of May, right? So next June, this coming June, the first Saturday of June, monthly Sankirtan festival. July, August, September. Just keep it going. Keep it going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep it going. And you'll be happy you did it. And Lord Chaitanya will be very happy with you. Because he says, Atta eva ambiyagya dulun sabhakare. He says, it's the duty, similar to what Lord Krishna says here. It's the duty of everyone to help others to be Krishna conscious. It's the duty of everyone. It's the duty of everyone to dedicate their life to the spreading of Krishna consciousness. It's our duty. We've got the mercy, so we have to give the mercy. We should want to give the mercy. You know that verse? Atta eva amiyagyantu lunsabhakri. I can't remember the exact translation. Anyway, it's something like that. It's our duty to help others. That's the essence of it. Yes, Prabhu. It starts out Atta eva. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Good.
Chaitanya also said that he is the only gardener.
He's the only gardener of this tree of bhakti, and he's in anxiety. How am I alone going to be able to distribute all the fruits? How alone am I going to be able to do it? So he wants help. So we should want to help him. And these books, these are actually fruits. These are the fruits coming from the tree of bhakti. If anybody reads these books, they can develop their love for Krishna. It's the beginning. Find it? That's it. Yeah. What's the translation?
Therefore I order every man...
I order! Whoa! That's the word I was missing. He says, I order everyone.
Within this universe...
Within this universe. This planet is also in this universe.
To accept love of Godhead and in turn distribute it to others.
Powerful statement there. Accept it and distribute it to others. I order. See, Lord Chaitanya ordering all of us monthly Sankirtan festival. So remember, we have to be yes men, we have to be yes women. He ordered, yes sir. He didn't bring his hand up, but he's doing it. Okay, anything else? Any questions, comments? Yes?
About asking for donations, we don't want to look like beggars, no? How we can ask for donations?
How do we ask for donations? That's always the fun part. Well, we tell them we ask for a donation for the printing. We ask for a donation for the printing. And whatever the book costs, double printing. By the way, how much is the Upanishad hardbound? How much do you ask for that? What's the BBT?
2 euros.
Huh?
Double BBT 2 euros.
The BBT is 2 euros.
Double.
Double.
Double is 2.
Double is 2. So BBT is 1 euro?
Yeah, right.
Oh wow, I've been getting a lot of good profit. I've been asking them for 5. So whatever the double is, like if it's 2 euros, double BBT is 2 euros. Just tell them, yeah, we just asked for the printing costs. Yeah, they're 2 euros, and if you give any more, it's a donation. Yeah. So just tell them like that. And then, like I tell them, they cost, say 2 euros to print. Do you give any more, it's a donation to me, I'm a monk. And people like to give donations to monks. So that's one thing you can say. I don't know what the women would say. I'm a nun, so you can give or something.
I'm not a monk.
I'm a monkey.
They don't have. What's that?
I said, what is that? I'm not a monk. I'm not a monk. What should I say?
Oh, well, you're kind of living the lifestyle of a Vaishnava, are you?
Yeah.
Kind of living the lifestyle of a Vaishnava. Prabhupada said, even you're a householder, you're seriously practicing Krishna consciousness, you're a brahmachari grihastha. Even he said sannyas grihastha. If you're dedicating your life to Krishna consciousness, then you're also like a monk. Better than a lot of so-called monks, because you're practicing. Yeah.
What would you say for some devotees who thinks I'm not ready to preach, so I don't go out? Obstacle.
Yeah.
So why should I preach? I don't know how to preach.
Well, we learn. We learn how to preach. And Prabhupada wanted everybody to learn the art of book distribution. It's not difficult. You go up to people, excuse me, are you from here in Ljubljana or out of town? Or I'm from Zagreb, where are you from? Or I tell them I'm from California, where are you from? It's a nice thing when actually Prabhupada said, I was listening to a lecture of Prabhupada, he said it's very natural that when you first approach someone, or first talk to someone, oh, I'm from here, where are you from? It's very common. So I got that from Prabhupada. So I tell people, I'm from California, where are you from? And it's just a natural way to start a conversation. What kind of work do you do? Well, here, check this out. But it's very important that first you have some exchange. Don't try to talk to people and walk with them at the same time. Of course, sometimes they say, if you I'm in a hurry, can you walk me? Then that's okay. But sometimes it can be a little irritating if you're walking with them and talking. Just excuse me. No. Excuse me. And when you say excuse me, they don't know what you're stopping them about. So it's a good way to stop people. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm from California, where are you from? I'm from Zagreb, where are you from? Or I'm from, where are you from? Ljubljana. I'm from Ljubljana, where are you from? Or you can say, if you're living in Ljubljana, you can tell them, are you from Ljubljana here or out of town? Just ask a question. Because there's a good thing, losing my throat. A good thing about questions is there's a hook. Stops them. Yeah. Where are you from? Oh, from here, there, over there. And then show the book. Anyway, we're going to do some demonstration on Saturday morning. And by the way, I was talking to Prabhu about this monthly Sankirtan festival we're going to have. And we thought, in order for us to do 300 books, we might have to stay out a bit later than 2 hours. So we were thinking we should stay out for 10 hours. No, I'm joking. 3 hours. And if you want to stay out for 5, you can stay out for 5. Our bhakti here has volunteered to stay out for 5 hours. Do I hear any more 5s? You're his buddy. How about 5? Do I hear 5? Do I hear 4s?
Saturday also finale marathon. Marathon, Lord Nrsimhadeva marathon. Saturday is last day.
Last day.
Means finale.
Okay.
Extra.
So if you want to go out on book distribution after the feast, you can go out again. You could join Nitya. He's going to go out after the feast for the grand finale. Anybody else want to join Nitya? Okay, we got 4, 5 people. All right, good. 5 more. Cool. I'll join you too. 6. Any more? No Matajis? Come on, at least one Mataji. All right. So, hopefully we'll be able to do the 300 mark. Yeah. There's a saying that, what is it? If you remember Lord Chaitanya, then very difficult things become very easy. If you forget Lord Chaitanya, then very easy things become very difficult. So pray to Lord Chaitanya, and he will help you. Anything else? Yes?
One woman today said, I asked her, where are you from? I asked her, are you from here? And she said no. And I asked her, where are you from? And she said, there.
Did she take a book?
No, she will just continue walking.
She got a sense of humor, eh? Okay, Sri Panchatattva ki jai, Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai, Monthly Sankirtan Festival ki jai.